I mean, I suppose it's related to the same thing. That's what success actually looks like in, say, even a 6 months perspective. But you know, this looks like a great project to me, and obviously you've got the buy-in. But what happens with how do you keep the steam going, and then also what does success look like in 4 years, 5 years time, for example? When you consider what might be.
Well, I mean, I feel like the main goal is to create that sense of community. So whether or not this enterprise is still there, but if there's a larger sense of community, I feel that would be a success. However, if there are a lot of activities still reoccurring, and you know, people reaching out and saying, I have this idea, who wants to get on board, and you know, a lot of interest is still involved. But keeping that sense of community is very important, because I feel like before the primary schools were taken away, they really had that, and I know that they want that again.
So, I mean, it's quite difficult to measure that kind of, how do you measure community spirit? That's, you know, a question I don't know if anybody can really answer unless you kind of, you see it, but we maybe see it in statistics. So we could actually maybe bring in, well, we have actually brought in the local police force to say, right, has crime been reduced? Or is confidence up? Another difficult thing to measure. Or in the case of actual, you know, let's get down to nitty-gritty statistics here. How many people log onto the website? So how many unique users? So in the case of like one that's been successful, run by Hugh Flock, Haringey, which is a suburb in London, they're getting 1,200 unique visitors a day. And when you go on, you know, the site, all the forums, I went on yesterday just to check, it's posted 1 day ago, posted 4 hours ago. So if we could see, in that statistical sense, an active thing on the web, an active message board. But I think, like Laura said, even if it doesn't exist, if it's done its job over those years while it has, it's immeasurable, I think.
Where do you see kind of sources of funding coming from for the project and performing?
Apart from this, Heidi? Yeah, there's quite a few actually. I'll go back to the slide just to remind you of the names. Okay, so one of them is First Four. They run up to £5,000 open fund to fund activities of social enterprises. It's a really easy questionnaire, proposal to fill out, and we'll be handing that over. So that's one of them. There's also going through Glasgow Council and pitching through the Community Council, so they'll be involved in that. There is I think it's called Warbly, which is part of the Digital Britain Fund. They're actually awarding between £6,000 and £10,000 to local communities who want to get communities on board and already have an IT suite. And Wynford has an IT suite in the Norfolk Generation Centre, which provides like careers advice for people. And there's also a fund which is called eBuild. It's just come out. It's due on the 4th of March. They're awarding £10,000 as well to communities who want to get on board with IT and are doing good activities surrounded by that. So there's a lot in Glasgow and there's a lot of bigger ones in the UK, and I think we could harness some of those.
You kind of need to wrap up, but I think
I've got one question. Just you talk about being the designer in residence, which seems a good scheme. Why a designer? Why not a project manager or something else? What's the benefits of designer?
Well, because of we're trying to focus on the offline community as well as the online, because we are aware of the fact that not everyone has the internet. And things like a newsletter and making pages and all these things are an easier job for a designer to do, as well, to kind of infuse their creativity in any events that are happening or taking place. Like a person like that is trained to think differently.
I think this project's really proved that the role of the designer is completely changing from, you know, designer as sole author to designer as facilitator, an enabler, you know, and sort of somebody that empowers people. And you've seen that with this project. And I think that they have that kind of multifaceted role. They've got those skills to be able to do that. And I really believe, I'm going to pitch in for Glasgow School of Art here, but they produce students of that calibre, and we like to harness those skills.
Yeah, there would be like a backup towards anything that he does, he would consult with this person to do. And as well as the internet, like the website and everything like that, it's easier to have someone with the knowledge of these things to have done. It would be like a job, pretty much.
That's fantastic. I think we've got to wrap up there. Yeah, we do, yeah. Anybody else?
I know, I just wanted to applaud you for the use of the word communities, because I see so many projects that talk about communities as a blanket term for people who live in the same place, and I think you've really picked up on the fact that communities really is about values, and I think you've done that. And it's really nice to see how you've done that in a very specific way to try and start that conversation about what connects us and what are our values in shared spaces. So,
thank you. Thanks very much for having us out. Cheers.